Okay, so we are at the final story of the day, and I was on the fence if I wanted to do this one, and I had to ask around, only because of a certain dialogue in there, and so. Um, but this one is coming from a little different source. Okay, and this is Empire. So Empire has now put out their super exclusive uh, magazine. Okay, this is going to be out in I think a week or two, and obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the biggest movie to one of the biggest movies is going to be of the summer, and it's going to kick the summer off, and I think that's vitally impressive, or vitally important, I should say. So I'm going to read this to you. This is from Empire, and here we go. So um, let's just let's put one different thing on the screen. There we go. So as I said, this is from Empire, guys. So it's a little different, but definitely it looks good. You have to hand it to the Guardians of the Galaxy. For a bunch of intergalactic a-holes, they have saved the world a lot. They've kicked off against Creed fundamentalists, wrestled against Ravengers, and cracked Peter Quill's bat celestial dad, and thwarted Thanos himself, saving planets and people and entire universes along the way. Not bad for an 80s music obsessed, half human, a couple of misfit warriors, and a talking tree, and an explosion happy raccoon. But the long awaited Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, not just the final outing for the Guardians lineup, but writer James Gunn's farewell to the MCU, too, will be something different. Amidst all the cosmic chaos and all the blockbuster wizardry, Volume 3 is said to be the most intimate and emotional Guardians of the Galaxy yet. As Gunn tells Empire, it's, quote, not about saving the universe, it's about the Guardians themselves, end quote. And there's plenty to save. For one, this seems to be a story largely on Rocket Raccoons tracing our furry friend's devastating history, and the villainous High Evolutionary, a mad scientist who presided over the uncanny Counter Earth, where he specialized in creating hybrid creatures. The High Evolutionary is one of my favorite Marvel villains, explains Gunn. I've always been a big fan of uh, Island of the Lost of Souls. He's like a space Doctor Moriarty. He's a detestable character, frankly. As well as revealing more of Rocket's story, the High Evolutionary also heralds the arrival of the anthropomorphic otter Lily, the much anticipated debut of Cosmo the dog, plus the introduction of Adam Warlock's character, which was teased in a post-credit sequence of Volume 2. Back then, he was grown in a cocoon overseeing a gold-skinned sovereign leader. Now he's being birthed into the MCU for real. James and I discussed the idea of playing him, at least in the initial phase in his infancy, teased Poulter, of the comic fan favorite. As a young person entering the world, trying to develop his moral compass, there was a lot of comedy in that, but also some genuine pathos, some dramatic meat on the bone. And of course, our heroes will need all the help they can get to save Chris Pratt's Star Lord, who, like any other long-standing MCU hero, has been put through the emotional ringer over time. He's in a quote state of depression, end quote, says Pratt. No wonder, since his will they, won't they romantic partner Gamora was killed in Avengers Infinity War, and now exists in the universe in an earlier version of himself with no memory of time with Quill or the other Guardians. This is Pratt speaking. He's living in a world where Gamora has no memory of her time with Quill or the other Guardians. Uh, or I'm sorry, he's living in a world where Gamora has no idea who he is. The love of his life is gone, says Pratt. That caused him to drink a lot. He's not the best leader. But if the Guardians films have been about anything, it's that these ace holes are at least the worst for least worst version of themselves when fighting with and for each other. It is a trilogy, says Gunn, of the bigger picture. The first movie is about the mother, the second movie is about the father, and the third movie is about the self. That is the overall story. Get ready. The final chapter is about to unfold. And so, it, look, this is going to be a lot of fun. Um, I can't wait to see this. This is going to be an amazing, amazing movie. And, you know, um, we're going to get some, these are exclusive photos from Empire. So, and this is just going to kick everything off, and it's going to be an absolute blast. Um, and Gunn, that's why I have such strong feelings about James Gunn, because I think that he is going to really handle DC right, and I think that's why he really wanted to take on um, DC and the Superman, the first movie himself, so it doesn't get messed up. But this is going to be amazing, and this comes out in just about a month, so it's going to be a wild ride. Um, I can't wait for this. I know I keep saying it, but I think everybody's in the same boat. Like they realize what's going on, and yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. So it's gonna be a good time, though, guys. It's gonna be a really, really good time, and I can't wait to see it. I think it's gonna be interesting to see a different um, side of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And when James Gunn says what he says about having it be a trilogy and having it, the first one being about the mother, the second one being about the father, and this one, it's brilliant. It's genius, really. So, anyways, are you guys excited to see Guardians of the Galaxy? How many times are you going to go see it? Who's your favorite Guardian of the Galaxy? Is it Star Lord? Is it Drax? Could it be Raccoon? Is it Groot? Which one is your favorite? Or it could be any of the other characters. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments, and I'm going to get back to everybody.